Hello Aquarius, Turquoise Tarot with your reading for October 2017. Hope you're all doing well. Happy Halloween to those of you who celebrate Halloween. If you're attending any events or you have any plans, if you're dressing up for the occasion, I'm interested to know what you're doing, what your plans are. Post it in the comments below if you'd like. I myself am going to have a little get-together with some family and friends, and we are dressing up. Not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but we'll see. I want to do some kind of theme. It's still in the works. I want to remind you guys that I'm offering a special on my private readings. So for a 20-minute one-question reading, it's $20. It's a video reading that gets sent to you after I receive your payment and questions. It gets sent to you within like 48 hours. And it's yours to keep. You can refer back to it and watch it as many times as you'd like. If you want information on that, I will post the link in the information box below the video for my private reading. Okay? And also, if you're interested in donating to the channel, which is always greatly appreciated, I will post that link below as well. Let's go ahead and get started with your reading for this month. I want to look at general messages first, and then we'll do two separate readings for singles and couples regarding love. So what are the general messages for Aquarius for the month of October 2017? What are the general messages for Aquarius for the month of October 2017? We have the Four of Wands, Eight of Cups. I think we're ready. So I'm going to set these two aside. We're going to see how they resonate with the other cards that come out in your reading, okay? We have the Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands, Six of Swords, Six of Cups, King of Swords, Page of Wands, Ace of Swords, Five of Swords, and finally Ten of Wands. At the bottom of the deck for overall energy, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so let me just look this over and we'll see what messages are coming through. You're coming up in the center as the King of Swords, so this is certainly regarding some change around you. I want to say for some of you, I see closure. I feel like there's something from the past that maybe you weren't completely sure of. Maybe there's somebody that you've said goodbye to, but you always thought, well, maybe there was something there. Maybe it could have been something, but I let it go. It doesn't have to be a person, though. It can be just something from your past that you haven't really either forgiven or gotten over. And I want to say for some of you, it's an ideal. You know, it's like ever since you were a certain age, or maybe for a long period of time, you've had this dream or this ideal that you've been trying to strive for, either in your personal life or in a relationship. And in the month of October, it's kind of like a real big change in perception. There's this clarity brought to a situation where, again, I feel like there's been maybe some uncertainty. And now this month it's about that certainty coming in, knowing for sure where you stand with somebody, Some of you, I have to say, unfortunately, it's about ending to a marriage or ending to a relationship where you're walking away from a commitment that you've made. And with the Hanged Man here, it's certainly about a sacrifice, letting something go. But the Hanged Man, again, it can also represent a change in perception. Let me see. I almost feel like you want to be done with something too. For some of you, this is about something's been carrying on maybe for too long, and it's been so heavy, it's been a burden. It may be, for instance, let's say you have a house guest, and it's a family member. It can be a sibling. It can be even your spouse's family member. But maybe you feel like they've outstayed their welcome. Maybe you feel like it's a bit of a burden at this point and you're wanting them to leave. I see them actually leaving the beginning, kind of towards the beginning of October, maybe the first week and a half. And it's like you weren't expecting them to leave. You've been wishing and wanting them to leave. But suddenly there's some kind of news that comes in where it makes it so they can leave. There's another opportunity somewhere, or there's another place for them to stay, or there's something here where they may be leaving, even if it's for a period of time where it's like a temporary thing. I kind of see them leaving, and you get to have a little bit of downtime because of it. And I want to say it kind of spices up your marriage again because you have time with your partner. But this is going to be later on, I want to say, in October. That's for some of you. For some of you, this is like you've been dealing with a situation, haven't had any resolution. This is a month where you get that resolution. You come out victorious in this situation, whatever this is. But it can be a situation where there's maybe 2 other people involved. But I'm feeling like this has something to do with a marriage for some of you, or a home situation. And needing to let something go. Once that clarity is brought in, you're letting it go and you're moving on. Doesn't necessarily mean you're leaving the relationship. Can feel that way, or can be that way for some of you, but I think for most of you there's some resolution here, and there's a new shift in perception about your relationship with someone. Let's clarify it with these Gypsy Oracle cards. I'm going to look at the Hangman first. Joyfulness, bow, and love on the Hanged Man. So again, this can be about you being your own worst enemy and needing to change your perception about something in order to see the good in a relationship. For some of you, it's again somebody that's been meddling in your relationship, taking their departure, and you finally having that time to reconnect with your partner. But others, I think this is about realizing that the partnership you presently have isn't bringing you maybe the sense of joy that it once did, and you're seeing the cracks in your relationship. You're not looking at things through any rose-colored glasses, and it's understanding that a sacrifice needs to be made in order for progress to happen. Let's look at the Five of Swords here. Yeah. We have sweetheart, prisoner, and despair on the Five of Swords. Feeling trapped in a relationship, feeling desperate to get out. That could be you, that could be your partner. And somebody's going to break free because it's on the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is like a shallow victory. So it's not necessarily shallow, but it's like nobody's coming out necessarily a winner, but you feel like you've come out a winner because you were able to break free of this situation. Let's look at the Ace of Swords. So there's some type of event that happens where maybe initially you recognize it as having some negative undertones, okay? It's not necessarily the kind of news or the kind of thing you want to hear about your partner, or maybe it's just something that you gain clarity on a situation and it's not necessarily what you wanted to hear. However, it is fortunate because now you know where you stand with this person, right? For some of you, this can be working on repairing those wrong areas in your relationship, or working on something and repairing it so that there's truth and we know where we stand with somebody, and it really helps the situation, you know, it really helps us to better commune with this person. But I think for some of you it's realizing, you know, I don't know if I can be with this person or work with this person because now I see what their true intentions are, or I see what they're really trying to pull, and I'm not having it. Let me look at the Four of Wands. This is something to do with a home. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship. It can be like a home environment too, where you just feel like things aren't going very well at home. And you're hopeful of, by moving away from home, you're able to start something new. You're able to build a stronger foundation for yourself. Maybe you're dealing with taking care of someone and it's become very, very challenging, and it's really not your responsibility, and now it's time for you to move on. Yeah. For some of you, again, it is a wedding or a relationship, because we have pleasure seekers, wedding, and falseness. So I feel like this is a situation where you may be romantically involved with somebody, but you're understanding now that that commitment isn't there. It's not an equal partnership, because you're carrying most of the burden. So it's either, you know, financially you're carrying a lot of the responsibility, emotionally you're the one investing more than the other person, but it's you carrying the load of the relationship, and it's become too much, and it's time to let it go. Let me look at the Ace of Rods. So it may be through somebody from your past communicating to you, setting things straight, telling you the truth. This person's a blessing, so it may be an old friend that suddenly comes up, because we have the Knight of Swords here, which is about messages, but it's also can be like with the Swords card, it's communication. But I feel like this can be maybe even something done via email or text message or social media, something technology-based, where you receive this communication regarding your partner or regarding a situation that you're gaining clarity on from an old friend. Let's look at the Six of Cups. Yeah, an old friend is coming in, and it's a blessing. See, we have friend, consolation, and widower. So this friend is confirming for you, and they're basically answering your prayers in a sense, because they're confirming what has not been clear to you in the past. And now you're able to let something go because this person is setting things straight for you. Six of Swords. Let's look at Six of Swords. We have two cards of departure, the Six of Swords, and then don't forget we have the Eight of Cups over here too. So I think you have felt like maybe in a situation you've been a bit naive, or maybe a bit too trusting. There's a surprise here, a surprise element. Could be a positive surprise when this old friend returns, but the news they have doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily the kind of news you want to hear. But it's kind of like I see a maturity here between the young woman and the Lord here. It's kind of like you grow up a little bit from this, and you learn something from it, and now you're feeling like, okay, I'm in the driver's seat. I make the decisions about what happens here. It's kind of weird. Let me see. Yeah. They're helping you see a situation for what it is. And I feel like they maybe even got evidence or something. So, guys, I know it's meant to be a general reading, but sometimes love comes up in general readings. Doesn't have to be love related for all of you, but remember, it's a general reading. If you'd like a private reading, that information is below. Okay? Let's look at what's going on regarding love for single Aquarians for the month of October. What are the love messages for single Aquarians? We have Queen of Wands, Two of Cups, Eight of Swords, Nine of Rods, Four of Swords, the Moon, oh my goodness, Four of Pentacles, you guys are too much, Five of Pentacles, and the King of Swords, which is your energy here, guys. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So the cards are basically indicating to me that you need to work on your confidence when it comes to relationships, when it comes to approaching the opposite sex. And I think there's something here about having difficulty opening up and being vulnerable and sharing with another individual. You need to learn how to get out of your head more and focus more on being heart-based or heart-centered, you know. I think you're a little too much in your head when it comes to dating, romance, relationships. You're kind of holding on to an old belief. Maybe, I almost want to say, like, maybe somebody in the past that you've dated gave you a hard time about, I don't know, something. And it could be anything. The way you spoke, or the way you joked around, anything, the kind of car you drove. Let's just say somebody in your past gave you a hard time and you remember that. And so you carry this insecurity and you're afraid that it's almost like for you you feel like it's a sign on your forehead, but honestly nobody else recognizes or thinks that way of you. It's just this past relationship. You need to let it go, pretty much. You need to let it go. Some of you may be holding on to a partner from your past who was a fire sign, so a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. You may be holding on to them, and the cards are saying you need to trust in letting that go, because there's someone else who's supposed to be coming in for you, and it can be a water sign, okay? Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. I think there's a fear also, for some of you, those of you who find it difficult to date, or to maybe talk to the opposite sex, or feel comfortable because you have some doubts or insecurities. There's fear here of not measuring up, but also there's a fear of being trapped. Some of you have a subconscious fear of being trapped in a relationship. Not wanting to try something new because you're afraid it's going to be something similar to what you've had in the past. But I want to say, for a lot of you, I just feel like you're holding on to a fire sign that you need to let go of. I think you see this person as your twin flame. They're not your twin flame. They're not. There's someone else that's much better for you. But you just don't know how to let go of this person. And maybe you've already said your goodbyes and whatnot, but emotionally, mentally, they're on your mind. And you got to let them go so that someone new can come in. I want to look at this Five of Pentacles here. So we have servant, widow, widower, and foe. So these three cards coming up on the Five of Pentacles, to me, it talks about emotional lack. You know, you're lacking that bond with somebody that you want to have it with, maybe someone from your past who's, again, I'm getting a strong fire sign. But you're only hurting yourself by holding on to this. They're not around. You need to let them go. That's the best thing you could do for yourself, is to let them go. Because you're just hurting yourself by remembering and holding on to this. And it's preventing you from really looking for love elsewhere. Let's look at the Four of Swords here. Consolation, Melody, and House. So I feel like love comes in. There's a substantial offer here for love, but you're having a hard time really accepting it because you're kind of focused on somebody else. Look at the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this is somebody to bring you a lot of happiness. There's somebody here who's a water sign who has a lot to offer you. A strong relationship. And I feel like they're around you, or they're going to be coming in the month of October. So you have to be able to really get out of your head and get out of this past to allow this person to come in. Because on the Moon card, we can see that secretly you're hoping for a reunion with somebody. And it's not going to happen. You're going to see that this month. They're not able to offer you what you want. But there is someone else who's coming in who can. And you got to give them a chance. Let me look at the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. You're holding on, see? Room card is about secrets, intimacy, things that we keep hidden in our heart. Obviously, the Death card is about endings and transformation. And consistency, about things remaining the same or being stuck on something. And that's what exactly it is. It's realizing, on the Five of Pentacles here, realizing that you need to let this go. You're stuck on it. You just need to let it go. You're secretly holding on to something you need to let go of. And the Five of Pentacles is about lack, so it's about understanding this person doesn't have anything to offer you. So you need to completely let them go, okay? That's what I have for my single Aquarians. Good. There's somebody here that wants to come in if you'll let them. Just got to let go of what's been and what's not going to work out, you know. Again, general reading. Let's look at what's coming in for my coupled Aquarians for October. Strength, Magician, Justice, Hanged Man, Queen of Swords, which is you, Nine of Pentacles, Four of Wands. I already saw it in these three cards. Five of Cups, Seven of Swords. The bottom of the deck, overall energy, is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, Aquarius. I think some of you are getting proposed to in the month of October. So congratulations to those whom which that will apply. But I think that there is maybe a mother figure that, or there's another woman around you, possibly an earth sign, so Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, who may not be too happy to hear of this news. And it may be because they feel like they're losing you, or they're not going to have a lot of time with you. They see you moving home, so I'm getting a strong like mother or aunt, or maybe just an older female in your life that maybe you live with, or that you have a very close tie or connection with. And there's a concern that this relationship won't be able to continue after, you know, getting married and settling down. So that's something that you need to discuss with your friend or this person, and basically get that settled. But you're very happy because we see an engagement. Now, for others of you, there may be a situation where you are, because we have justice here, and I was just going to say attorney. I don't know why that came to me, but maybe some of you have an earth sign attorney, and you're dealing with a custody case, or you're dealing with a divorce. Maybe separating home is challenging. I think for those of you where that applies, you are very excited about being independent, being single again, finding yourself again. It is a big sacrifice, and it has required a lot of strength to say goodbye to a relationship or to a marriage. But at the same time, this has really taught you some great, valuable things about yourself. You went through the sadness, you went through the hardship of the emotional aspect of it, and you've come out of it like the magician, where you realize, I'm really a lot stronger and more powerful than I realized, and now's my time to make the life I want, to manifest the life that I want. I kind of feel like for you, if that applies, you're really focused on your career, you're focused on money, you're focused on building more financial abundance for yourself. And you may be partnering up with an earth sign to help with that. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Dropping cards here. Okay. I want to look at justice first with these Gypsy Oracle cards. See if I can get more clarification. Surprise, service, and despair on justice. So I think that there's a pleasant surprise, or there's a pleasant turn of events in a situation where maybe you thought you didn't have the upper hand, or you thought things weren't going to turn out as positively as they actually do. Okay? And it's to your benefit, and I want to say especially financially. So if you're going through a divorce situation, I think financially somehow this is going to turn in your favor. I think you are going to be able to successfully financially take care of yourself, okay? That's not going to be an issue. And then for some of you, where this is I want to say for some of you, this is an engagement. And this is saying here that maybe this is something that you've been waiting for, because I feel like there's been a sacrifice in waiting for this. And it finally comes in. It's a pleasant surprise. I want to look at the Seven of Swords down here. We have cheerfulness, scholar, and money on the Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is about deception, someone trying to get away with something in broad daylight or under your nose. For those of you where this is like a court situation, I want to say that something's coming to light. You're learning about something. Ultimately, it's to your benefit. It helps you in this situation where maybe it felt desperate before, and it turns things around to your benefit. Maybe you're learning that there's more money there than you realized, or you're learning that, I don't know, something, and it just turns out positively in your favor financially. But also, I want to say somebody's been sneaky as far as money goes. Somebody hasn't been completely honest regarding money in your relationship. If you're in a relationship with an earth sign, I feel like it's the earth sign. Like they're keeping money from you. They're holding money. Okay? And then for others of you, again, with an engagement, this has been kept from you. Maybe family and friends have kept this from you. They've known that this person was going to propose, and it comes out. It's a very positive thing. Seven of Swords doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It can be a white lie. Let's look at the Hanged Man. Thought, hope, and widower. So again, releasing something that needs to be released with the widower. Letting go, because this is on the Hanged Man. Having spent a lot of time contemplating this, maybe having some hope initially, but realizing it's not going to turn out the way you want it to, and having a need to release it. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that this queen is somebody who is a friend, or somebody you work with, or somebody who's in the midst, who wants to help you. This can even be an attorney. Like I said, I feel a strong attorney with this, but I also can say I feel like just somebody who wants something for your benefit, and I think they're going to help you obtain what you want to obtain in this situation. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius, for the month of October. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Again, if you're interested in a private reading, you're welcome to contact me via my website. I'll post that link below. I'm wishing you many blessings, love, and light in the month of October, and I will be back for November. So God bless, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.